The afternoon sun cast long shadows across the quiet suburban street as Sarah, a young woman working from home, received a notification on her phone. Delivery arrived. Glancing out the window, she saw a rectangular box sitting innocently on her porch. Setting down her laptop, she grabbed a water bottle and headed outside for a quick break. As she approached the porch, a shiver ran down her spine. The air felt heavy, unnaturally still. Ignoring the unease, Sarah reached down to pick up the package. Just then, she heard a sharp, insistent ring echo from her doorbell. Confused, she dropped the box and hurried inside. Peering through the peephole, she saw nothing. Cautiously, she unlocked the door and swung it open. The porch was empty. The box vanished. A cold breeze ruffled the leaves in the nearby trees, sending a twig skittering across the concrete. Sarah's heart hammered in her chest. Had she imagined the whole thing? Was it the heat getting to her? Deciding it must be a prank, she slammed the door shut and leaned against it, taking a deep breath. But before she could exhale, a voice crackled through the doorbell speaker. It was a voice, raspy and distorted, yet somehow familiar. It sent a fresh wave of terror crashing down on her. The voice whispered, a single horrifying sentence. "You shouldn't have ordered that." Sarah stumbled back, knocking over a chair. Her mind raced, searching for a logical explanation. A neighbor with a voice modulator? A prankster with a hidden microphone? But the fear that gripped her felt primal, instinctive. Panic rising, she scanned the street. There was no sign of anyone. Rushing to her computer, she pulled up the security footage from her porch camera. Her stomach lurched. The footage clearly showed the package sitting on the porch. Then, inexplicably, it vanished. One moment it was there, the next, the space was empty. The footage glitch seemed to warp time itself. Rewinding and replaying, she saw nothing. No person, no animal, no gust of wind strong enough to snatch the box. Sleep refused to come that night. Every creak of the house, every rustle of leaves outside her window sent her heart pounding. The chilling whisper echoed in her mind, a constant torment. The next morning, a strange package arrived in the mail, addressed in the same unfamiliar handwriting that appeared on the label of the vanished box. Inside, nestled in shredded packing peanuts, was a worn, leather-bound book. It reeked of damp earth and something else, something ancient and unsettling. Sarah flipped through the brittle pages, filled with symbols she couldn't decipher and passages in a language she didn't recognize. A feeling of dread washed over her. This book, whatever it was, felt wrong. It felt like a doorway to something dark and dangerous. Driven by a morbid curiosity, Sarah started researching online. Days bled into nights as she scoured obscure websites and dusty archives. Finally, she stumbled upon a reference to an ancient order, a group obsessed with the occult and forbidden rituals. The book in her hands, she discovered with a gasp, was one of their lost artifacts. An artifact said to contain a malevolent entity, capable of granting dark wishes but at a terrible cost. The realization hit her like a physical blow. Someone, somehow, had ordered this book in her name, using her address. But who? And why? Suddenly, the memories flooded back. A childhood friend, obsessed with the occult, who moved away years ago. They had made a pact, a childish vow to dabble in the forbidden. Had her friend, consumed by that dark fascination, ordered the book in her name as some twisted act of revenge, or perhaps a desperate attempt to fulfill their pact? The answer remained elusive, but the terror only intensified. The entity Sarah had unwittingly unleashed was growing stronger with every passing day. Shadows seemed to dance at the corners of her vision. Whispers followed her through the house. The once familiar rooms now felt alien, oppressive. One night, as Sarah lay awake, paralyzed by fear, she saw a figure standing at the foot of her bed. Tall and wraith-like, the figure at the foot of the bed was shrouded in darkness, its form barely discernible. Sarah's voice died in her throat as the figure reached out a skeletal hand, its touch like ice. A cold, inhuman voice filled the room. resonating deep within her very soul. "The ritual is incomplete," it rasped. "The offering is due." Sarah screamed, a primal, desperate sound that echoed through the empty house. But there was no one to hear her screams. The entity, summoned by the book, had claimed her. The next morning, the police arrived at Sarah's house, responding to a call from a concerned neighbor who had noticed a foul odor emanating from the house. They found the house empty, untouched, yet strangely devoid of life. On the living room floor lay the book, open to a specific page, a page filled with dark, swirling symbols and a single chilling sentence.